Hey, Paul Peck here again. I'm on that crazy ceiling where all the tape joints came down. I'm skim coating it with a 14-inch drywall taping knife and all-purpose joint compound. The ceiling was just kind of blistering at all the tape joints. So in case you missed it, I'm just going to hit a quick recap where I just pulled down the tape joints, and everywhere there was joint compound on the joints, the tape came down and most of the joint compound came down. I asked a question on the videos and also in a couple of my shorts, and I got all kinds of comments of why they thought this joint compound and tape was coming down. Everything from the mud was frozen, they thinned down the joint compound too much, they used hot mud and paper tape, which some people say is a no-no. I even got several comments where they thought the ceiling didn't get primed before the drywall finishing was done, but I've never heard of people priming before drywall finishing, that's for sure. How about you? Let me know in the comments what you think's going on. What I think's going on is the moisture from the pool is coming in from the soffit vents, and it's an uninsulated ceiling. I think between this Florida heat and the humidity and moisture coming from the backside where these seams are still exposed is making this paper tape and joint compound fail. So let me know what you think. I want to figure it out just for the future reference, and if other people have this going on too. But what I did is I went ahead and just pulled down every single tape joint, made sure I cut it right there at the intersection where it meets the wall. You don't want it to pull down. Like I said, I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of homes here that have drywall outside. They make an exterior soffit board too. I'll go ahead and cut right where the tape is on that butt joint so it doesn't peel off the stucco or anything crazy like that. Just go ahead and cut it, score it. What I did is I just went ahead and scraped all the loose parts off so I could retape it. I used my banjo and some Fiba fused drywall tape to do the finishing again of these tape joints. Goes pretty quick with the banjo. Got the big flat out of the way, and then I just went around and did all the butt joints. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of these type of videos. Just kind of wipe it down, get it smooth so the second coat goes real nice. All right, so I got back from lunch and the ceiling is not quite dry. So I'm going to go ahead and skim coat over the textured areas and just leave the tape joints and let them dry a little longer. So I'll just skim coat everything but the tape joints. And there's all the tape and joint compound that I pulled off. Has a skip trowel texture, and that came right off. The paint came off, the joint compound, and the tape. So I'm going to get started on the skim coating. Again, I'm going to use an all-purpose joint compound and my 14-inch drywall taping knife. I did thin down the joint compound just a little bit to get any air pockets out and make it a little creamy. You want to go ahead and leave it pretty thick, because when you're going over a heavier texture like skip trowel, you don't want the joint compound thinned down too much. If you thin it down too much, then you're going to get a lot of ridges. That's a pretty good tip for you. If you're going over texture, don't thin down your joint compound too much. But basically, I'm just getting the mud up there, and then I'm going to drop back and smooth it all out and try to eliminate all the lines that I can. The beautiful thing about skip trowel is once the ceiling's dry from skim coating, I will be able to go ahead and just texture right over that without sanding at all. I did get one comment that I wanted to address here in the video while I'm skim coating. I had someone say that it was ridiculous to skim coat this whole ceiling. They could match skip trowel texture no problem, and there'd be no reason to go ahead and skim coat the whole ceiling. Just a waste of time is what they said. But here's how I do it. I always give my customers an option. Some people are picky, some people are not. I tell my customers, hey, I can match skip trowel pretty much perfectly. But if you want a perfect ceiling and perfect repair, you're going to want to go ahead and skim coat over all the new tape joints and skim coat the ceiling and put a brand new texture back up and that's a guarantee you'll get a perfect ceiling repair. I know what happens. If you go ahead and just repair only the tape joints and retexture only the tape joints, then spot prime the tape joints and paint the whole ceiling, I guarantee I will be able to see where the tape joints are. When you have lines going across the whole ceiling and down the center of the whole ceiling, you're going to see those tape joints because you're painting over a painted surface that's probably been primed and a couple coats of paint, and then those tape joints are going to have a coat of primer and maybe a coat or two of paint. So you're never going to catch up the joints with the ceiling as far as how the paint and primer absorbs. But the texture, you can get it pretty close, but to get a perfect match is going to be difficult. So just wanted to throw that out there, why I went ahead and skim coated this ceiling. The homeowner was planning on putting this place on the market once all the repairs were done, and they don't want any questions about what's going on with the ceiling. Looks like it was repaired. They just want it to look nice and tight and perfect. So that's my 2 cents on why I'm skim coating this entire ceiling, then retexturing it with a skip trowel. I hope that helps some people out. And I'm not going to show me skim coating this whole ceiling. I'm just going to go ahead and just do this section and then one more little section right before I'm finished with the ceiling, and you'll be able to get a look at how the ceiling looks like after it's been skim coated. All right, so if you notice, I'm going to pay special attention to the corners. You just want to take what mud is already up there and just kind of bring it into the corner. You don't want to get mud all over the walls or anything, so you don't sling it around. Now I'm going back and just kind of smoothing out these chatter marks a little bit more. And I'm putting pressure on one side of the knife and slightly lifting the other. That way I don't leave any knife marks on the ceiling. Here's the last section of skim coating the ceiling. I'm just getting the mud up there, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how I'm doing that. I'm making sure to just kind of put it on one side or the other so it doesn't splooge out both sides of the knife. So again, I'm getting it up there, then I'm going to smooth it all out. Kind of concentrating on how much mud I put on the knife. So it's pretty much all up there. Now I just got to do a little smoothing. I'm going to hit that corner one more time. Just want to get the texture and paint covered right in the corner. Makes for a nice job. You always want nice crisp corners when you're doing any kind of ceiling or wall work. All right, so I'm just going to wipe it out. Very light pressure. I'm not pushing too hard. Now I've just got my edge of my knife on the right side. I'm putting pressure and lifting on the left. Right side, lifting on the left. Then the lines go away completely. Once you try it a couple times, you'll get the hang of it and you'll know exactly what you need to do. I'm going to have to drop back and hit these tape joints. I'll cover that in the next video. I'm also going to have a video of me skip troweling this entire ceiling, so you don't want to miss that. Here's the skim coat. I just didn't do any of the tape joints, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm sure it's going to look like $1,000,000 when it's done.
And if you want to catch the next video or any of my upcoming videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button now in the center of the screen to keep up with all my videos. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'll leave some of my most popular video links down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching.